should I say, buenas noches. I'm joining you tonight from a town called Toluca in the mountains just outside Mexico City. And you know, it occurred to me that we don't get a lot of information outside the media bubble about what Mexico's really like. So I wanted to bring you some perspectives you might not have seen before. Mexico, a nation of 130 million people, gained its independence from Spain in 1810, and like its neighbor to the north, has a federal political system. Mexico has 32 states and a central government located in Mexico City, with executive, two-chambered legislative, and judicial branches. And like the U.S., Mexico's national symbol is an eagle, although the Mexican version is gold. And Mexico is 93% Christian, with 83% of residents belonging to the Roman Catholic Church. Oh, and there's the food. Lots of meat cooking on open flames, families enjoying the outdoors, and sunshine. But Mexican life isn't covered much in today's news due to the never-ending issues over its border with the U.S. and the question of what to do with thousands of migrant families from Central America seeking asylum. Then there's President Trump, whose negative comments about Mexicans during his 2016 campaign kickoff did more than score some political points. It hurt people.
But this man is kind of against us. Not really against the government, but against us. At least that's what we feel.
Mexico has been absolutely terrific for the last 4 days.
The president's approach to Mexico is based largely on what he says is an uncontrolled southern border and rampant crime. And he's made numerous threats to shut the border down entirely. This might sound good to some, and they might ask, why should we in Missouri care about how Mexicans view our president and our country? Well, it might all come down to trade. Dr. Rachel Gillum, an international trade and security expert at Stanford, explains that North American trade agreements are key to American and Missouri jobs.
If NAFTA or USMCA is eliminated or the deal doesn't go through, this could be really problematic for job losses in the United States. Certain economists estimate that 1.8 to 3.6 million jobs could be lost, mostly blue-collar jobs. When thinking about Missouri, Mexico is Missouri's second largest export market after Canada. So the Chamber of Commerce estimated that Missouri could lose up to 250,000 jobs if USMCA doesn't go through. So this is really problematic. You know, this accounts for the amount of trade with Mexico and Canada accounts for 56% of Missouri exports. So it accounted for $7.8 billion worth of trade. So this is really significant for Missouri.
To be sure, international trade is a complex issue, as is figuring out how to bring more manufacturing jobs back to the U.S. But clearly, things aren't helped by losing additional jobs and profits in our relationship with Mexico. So it's probably a good idea for Missourians to look beyond the border issues with Mexico. If they do, they'll likely see a country that reminds them of their own. Indeed, Mexico and the U.S. have a lot more in common than you might think, including a varied interest in politics. Dr. Leticia Ares is a local university professor who studies Mexico's relationship with the U.S.
Who are interested? Academics, young people, not middle-aged or old people, not much older women, for instance.
Then there's corruption. I found this display in a local museum in Toluca, and while it lampoons Trump, Mexican and South American leaders are also ripe for the pickings, this time over access to oil and gas and Mexico's state-owned petroleum company, Pemex.
The bottom line is that Pemex has developed a huge movement inside based on corruption. The people who stole gas from the pipes are around Mexico. So they discover how to pinch the pipes and get the gasoline, the oil from there, and then sell it half price. That's terrible. But the problem now, this government has discovered that Pemex allowed to do that. So in Mexicans' minds, Pemex is as corrupted as the people who stole the gas.
The issues are different, of course, but Missourians have had their fill of corruption too. It makes you wonder if there's not more we have in common across borders as people. This notion is often lost in the latest headlines, and Aris suggests some personal investigating might go a long way to understanding Missouri's key trading partner to the south. What's something that we're missing in the United States about Mexico and the Mexican people?
We like you, we like your cities, we love your American style of life. But you don't know our style of life. You don't know our culture, particularly the government. People, normal people, if it is interested, they could know more than about us, about our culture, and the more information, the more closeness we can develop.
And Aris has a suggestion. Instead of heading to Cancun for your next vacation,
spend more time in our little villages, our little towns, and stop to believe what the politician says.
and we'll be back after this.